It's in Pokhran where India first displayed its might by conducting the nuclear test during Indira Gandhi's regime and thereafter during Atal Bihari Vajpayee's regime. The special forces ahead of Independence Day carried out the integrated firepower exercise where the indigenous war machines was on display. Take a look at this report.
Gearing up to celebrate the 76th year of India's freedom. Proudly displaying indigenous war machines. The Special Forces conducted integrated firepower exercises in Pokhran.
Where the Indian Army is conducting a integrated maneuver and firing exercise. Jeeps carrying the ammunition 7.62 and a Dhruv helicopter of the Indian Army conducting a flypast while neutralizing enemy targets. Towards the left, we see Army BMPs also providing support fire for the tanks.
Indigenous war machines like the main battle tank Arjun, the T-90 Bhishma tank, the BMP tank and the ALH Rudra were showcased during the exercise. They showcased their weapons and equipment. The Rudra carried out drills showcasing India's defensive might.
रेकी वॉरियर वो होता है जो हाईली मोटिवेटेड और डेडिकेटेड और स्किल्ड सोल्जर होते हैं। अंदर जाना है, कोई ऑब्जर्वेशन करना है तो ऑब्जर्वेशन करने के लिए हमारे पास HHTI होता है, बाइनोकुलर होता है और हम कोई नेविगेशन करना है तो उसके लिए हमारे पास GPS, कंपास और मैप होता है। और हमारे पास प्रोटेक्शन के लिए, सेल्फ प्रोटेक्शन के लिए 9mm ब्रिटा पिस्टल और 5.56 mm इंसास राइफल, मेडिकल का किट होता है, टॉर्च होता है, एवरीथिंग जो भी चाहिए एक रेकी वॉरियर के लिए हर आइटम हमारे पास होता है।
Viewers, if you see, just about a second from now, you will see Rudra helicopter of the Indian Army about to fly over us. The helicopter will fly past towards the enemy positions which were detected by the army earlier. The Rudra helicopter is capable of carrying out reconnaissance missions, surveillance and also taking out targets when the need arises. You can see a mounted gun below the Rudra's cockpit. Viewers, if you see right behind me, Rudra helicopter of the Indian Army, of the Indian Aviation Corps is carrying out precision firing against enemy targets. This is happening under exercise Divya Shakti being organized in the Pokhran field firing ranges by the Indian Army. We also have the tanks and BMPs stationed in front of the Rudra helicopter. The Rudra helicopter is being used as a surveillance and as well as support fire system by the army to strike enemy targets which are stationed right in front of the tanks.
Whichever tank is indigenously developed by the country is called its main battle tank. So MBT Arjun is the tank that has been developed by India, and that is why it is the main battle tank of our country. My main motivation behind joining the army was, of course, my family. I have an uncle who was in the army, and watching him grow up.
This BMP just carried out a maneuverability and firing integrated exercise in the Pokhran field firing ranges, and we are riding it towards its location. If you see towards our right, we have main battle tank Arjun. Also, you can see at some distance are some other BMPs of the Indian Army which are camouflaged and concealed in the foliage here in Pokhran field firing ranges. This BMP is returning to its original position. Sir, can you please brief us about the specification of the tank T-90?
The equipment that you see behind me is the tank T-90. It's a medium weight class tank and weighs 46 tons. For the crew per se, this tank has got a crew of 3 people, namely driver, gunner and the commander. For the firing part, it has got 125mm smoothbore gun. To engage aerial targets, it has got a heavy machine gun, 12.7mm NSVT. To engage targets at a very close range, it has got a 7.62mm PKT.
Viewers, behind me is the armored AMB track or the ambulance track. If you see inside, you can see stretchers. This ambulance track is used by the Indian Army to evacuate casualties and injured personnel from ground zero or the battlefield. You see, this combat vehicle weighs about 14 tons and its maximum speed is 65 kilometers per hour. Apart from that, this vehicle is also capable of running on water with the speed of 7 kilometers per hour and can sit a crew of 1 commander and 1 driver, whereas about 4 patients lying and 4 patients sitting can also be accommodated in the vehicle. This is a key vehicle used by the army to take on operations on the battlefield. This is Yuvraj Tyagi for Republic from Pokhran Field Firing Ranges.